guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Soph. For today's video I'm going to be talking about the series that I would love to either finish and wrap up or just catch up with in 2025. So there are many series that I would love to read that I haven't started yet, so I haven't included those. However, the ones I will be talking about are ones that I have started either this year or years previous, and I just haven't either finished if they are a full series or caught up with as of yet. So without rambling, I'm just going to get straight on into it. The first one is the Natural series by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I have read 2 out of 4 of these books, so I'm on book 3. And I've spoken about this so many times on my channel. It's one that I discovered this year and I absolutely love it. It's such a fun time. But it follows a group of late teens and they have been like inducted into an FBI secret program for people who are naturally gifted in various ways in order to try and help solve cold cases. I'm on book 3, so technically I only have 2 more to go, but I really hope to wrap this up next year. I am kind of sad to say that because I do really enjoy it, and the fact that there's only 4 books does kind of make me sad, but I'm excited to read the rest of the series. The next one is a bit of a stretch because it is Zodiac Academy. I am only on book 3 and I think there's about 6 or 7 books, so that's quite a few to read next year, but I really enjoy the series. I'm really enjoying where the story is going. If you don't know, this follows twins who were switched at birth with human twins, but they are actually Fae, but they don't know that until they are 18 and transported to the Fae realm. And they have to go through a school where they learn their abilities, how to wield their powers, how to control it, what sort of powers they have, etc. And they also find out that they are heirs to the throne, but they can only claim their throne by graduating. So yeah, I am on book 3. Love the series, love the characters, I love the development, but there is quite a few more books to get through, so I'm not sure how well I will do. I did read the entire Of Throne of Glass this year, so if I can do that, I'm sure I can finish off the series next year. But yeah, I'm very excited to see where this one goes. I've heard that I think there's more than 6 books, but book sort of 6 is kind of where the main story wraps up, I believe. And then it kind of like spins off in other directions. We then have the Darkest Shade of Magic series by V.E. Schwab. She released another book in this series this year, but I have not caught up anyway. I think I'm on book 3. I was originally buddy reading it, but yeah, I believe there's 5 books now. The most recent one came out this year. But yeah, another book series that I really enjoyed. It's very different to my usual fantasy reads, and I think I did enjoy that element. It follows a world where there are different versions of London with different magic systems. In some worlds magic is banned, in some worlds only the elite have powers, and yeah, so there's like a few different versions. There's like Red London, White London, Black London, etc. And we follow our main character who is a traveller. He can travel between the different Londons and there's only one of him left and he has to fight various evils. I don't want to spoil too much, but I am on book 3 of this and I think I'm kind of ready actually to go back to the story. I haven't read them in a while. I think I read the second one back in like March, so it's been a hot minute since I've been in this world, but this is a very typical fantasy. There is a little bit of romance, but it's not heavy. It's definitely not a romantasy, so please don't go into it thinking that. I know I normally talk about romantasies, but this is very much a fantasy with an element of romance, not a romantasy at all, but very good if you like V.E. Schwab's writing, but also very different to Addie LaRue. Please bear that in mind. This one I feel like I've just been putting off, to be honest. I want to catch up on the Crescent City series. I've read book 1 and book 2. I read them kind of as they came out, but I have not read book 3 that came out this year in like January. So yeah, I do need to read House of Flame and Shadow kind of sooner rather than later, and then I will be caught up with what is out at the moment. But I believe there are more books to come in the series, so I don't think it'll be a series finish. I think it would just be a series catch up, which is fine. That's also what I want to do. I put it off because there was so many mixed reviews that I'm kind of scared to go into it with it being such a chunky book. I don't want it to put me in a reading slump, and I don't want to go in with too high expectations and then just be really disappointed. But because of the world that is in it, I already have those high expectations. I don't want to say too much in case it's spoilery for people who haven't read it, but because of the world we're going into in the third book, I already have high expectations, but I know that there is definitely a lot of mixed reviews about the book, so I need to go in it with like a clear mind. I do also really need to watch the recaps. I think I might watch Becca's from Becca in the Books, because she did a full recap of number 1 for when number 2 came out, and she's done a full recap of number 2, so I think I'm going to watch both of those videos so I don't have to like reread them, and then perhaps I will go on to that book, but not at the start of the year. I like to start my year off with like some nice easy reads to get me going. But yeah, that is a series that I need to catch up on. Then we have a little baby of mine, which is From Blood and Ash, which I absolutely adore so much. And I recently reread the first 3 books with the intention of reading the other 2 that were out from this part of the series, but by the time I'd read the 3rd book, I'd had enough of that world and I needed a break from it, so I didn't actually get any further. In 2025, I would like to finish the From Blood and Ash series. I don't know if it's finished or if she's still continuing it, but the 6th book comes out next year, so I would at least like to be caught up if that isn't the finish. But in that case, I have 3 books to read with the potential of more. I'm not sure if that is like the finale or not. But alongside this, there is also the Flesh and Fire series, which is the prequels to the Blood and Ash world, which I also need to read, which are here. But there's also a 3rd book, and I think potentially a 4th coming out. So there are a lot of books in this world that I need to get done, so hoping for that to be done next year is very ambitious, to say the least, but I think I can do it. I just need to really get in that mindset. That's why I mood read so much, because if I try and force my way through books, I end up in a slump and then I don't read anything. So I really have to pick my books carefully. So once I'm feeling the mood, I will continue with the From Blood and Ash series, and at least hopefully finish the From Blood and Ash part, even if I don't get onto that one. But technically, you're supposed to start this one before you read the 4th From Blood and Ash book. So it's kind of hard, but I'm sure we'll work something out. This one, I'm not actually 100% sure on, because I really enjoy the concept of Crave and the story where it is going, but the writing has started to annoy me a bit. Again, I've spoken about this a lot in my recent videos. But this follows a girl who becomes an orphan, and she goes to live with her uncle and her cousin, but her uncle is a headmaster of a school called Katmere Academy in like the depths of Alaska, and she spends most of book 1 not realising that she's surrounded by werewolves, vampires, dragon shifters and witches, which, I mean, I was screaming the whole time, like, how can you not tell? And there are, as far as I'm aware, 5 or 6 books in this series, and I'm currently reading book 2, and it's just annoying me. Like, I'm here for the paranormal vibes. Like, I love that, and I love YA books that are like paranormal, but the way that our main character is written, she really annoys me. The things she says and does, and she's so repetitive, I don't know if I can get past that. I'm gonna try, because I would like to see where this is going, and apparently it does get quite interesting, but it's just that main character. I just can't. I'm struggling. Normally, I mean, I've been reading the 2nd book for like a month now, listening to it, so I don't know. I think that might have been what made me slump through November, I'm not gonna lie, but we shall see. But that is one that I would like to catch up with. This one shouldn't come as a surprise to anyone. Stalking Jack the Ripper series quickly became one of my favourite series this year. I've just finished reading Hunting Prince Dracula, so that's 2 down, and I have 2 to go. I would love to finish this series next year, not because I want it to end, but because I just love being in this world with these characters. Honestly, Audrey and Thomas Creswell, I love them. I absolutely adore them. I don't think there has been a contemporary couple that I've loved more than them ever, and I just love their banter. I love the murder mystery element of these books as well. The next one I think is Escaping from Houdini, which I'm very excited for, and then I can't remember what the last one's called. I think it's like Dancing with the Devil or something like that, but I'm very excited to just be back in the world. I will be sad when it finishes, but honestly these are books that I will reread, and yeah, I'm just so excited to see where our couple goes. And then last but not least is the Crowns of Nixia duo. Serpent and the Wings of Night is number 1. I read this year. I did love it, but I definitely didn't get the hype that I saw around it. I don't know, I went into it with very high expectations because of how much hype it received, and I was disappointed in that aspect, but I enjoyed the book nonetheless. I think I gave it 4 stars. And this is only a 2-book series, so nice and easy. I just have 1 more to read, and then there is a new book out which is set in the same world but is a different story. So I would love to finish this one and then start the next one next year. This one follows a world of vampires, and there is a sort of tournament that comes around. I can't remember how often. It doesn't say in the blurb. I don't think it's yearly. I want to say every 7 years maybe. It's called the Kajari, and it's a tournament, and the winner gets to request a single wish from the goddess of night, I think. Goddess of death. And she meets a vampire in the tournament, and there is a little bit of romance. And her father, or her adopted father, is the king of one of the vampire courts. There's 3, and he's the king of one of them. And she goes into the tournament and she meets this guy, and she's just trying to win because she wants, I think, if I remember correctly, her wish is to be safe in the world, because she is human and she lives amongst vampires, and she's constantly fearing for her life, and she had to learn how to protect herself, etc. So her wish is to be safe in the realm that she lives in, basically. But yeah, so we follow her through the trial. So if you love trials, you'll love this. Kind of like Throne Glassy. And yeah, I really enjoyed this book. I just didn't love it as much as I hoped I would, but I am like looking forward to reading the next one and then starting the sort of spin-off novels. So that is just a few of the series that I would love to finish next year. Obviously not including some series that I haven't started. There are so many. I could have been speaking forever, but I just thought I'd narrow it down to the ones that I have started and I would love to finish. Please let me know down below if you have any series that you're hoping to finish next year or catch up on, or if there's any series that you are planning on starting in the next year. I know that there are some really highly anticipated books coming next year, so sticking to books that you need to read is going to be hard, but we can do this. We got this. Also, just let me know what you're reading right now and what you're enjoying. If you like this video, please give us a big thumbs up. It really helps me and my channel. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button before you leave so you don't miss the next video. Bye guys!